Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's edition of The Last Rep. Hope you're all having an amazing start to your day. I wanted to put this video together for you guys because I was chatting with someone at the gym last week, and we were talking about her goals and what it is that she wants to accomplish. And she said that she'd always done lots of cardio in the past, but had never really gotten anywhere in terms of weight loss, or more specifically, targeted fat loss. And she was going on to say that she's been reading lots of articles online about lifting weights to increase metabolism. So her area of focus right now was to lift more and increase her muscle mass to increase her metabolic rate and therefore burn more fat. And it made me think about how misunderstood the concept of metabolism actually is. So I thought I would shed a little bit of light on this. Which leads me to the title of this video: the fitness industry is lying to you. Okay. Now, I don't actually believe that, fitness gurus and online fitness coaches or bloggers or whatever are intentionally feeding you misinformation. Okay. I don't actually think they're lying to you. But they just don't necessarily understand the fundamentals of metabolism and how it works, or maybe they just can't quite articulate it properly. So the message is getting a little bit skewed, and therefore the fitness industry puts too much emphasis on muscle mass to regulate metabolism. So either way, increasing muscle mass to increase metabolism is grossly overstated. So I wanted to shoot this video to give you guys a little bit of science behind the actual mechanisms of fat loss, and maybe it'll help you out. So here we go. Now, for a lot of you, I'm likely going to be the first person to tell you that you can't really increase your metabolism, okay? You can optimize it, but you can't really increase it. Now, I know all the books and the magazines and the articles and the Facebook posts and everything else, they're all likely telling you that a pound of muscle burns like 35 to 50 calories a day. So if your muscle mass goes up, then your ability to burn fat also goes up. Right? You've heard it all before. Increase your muscle mass to increase your metabolism, or build a bigger furnace and you'll burn more calories, right? Or gain muscle to lose fat. This kind of thing. We've heard it all before. So in other words, what the industry is saying is lift more weights, build muscle, burn more fat. But think about it this way: powerlifters carry huge amounts of muscle mass, yet very few of them have visible abs or any significant amount of muscular definition. But if increasing muscle mass led to significant increases in metabolism, then powerlifters by right would be super lean because their muscle mass would burn through huge amounts of fat all day long, right? But the problem with that ideology is that your resting metabolic rate, or your basal metabolic rate, is not heavily regulated by your muscle mass like the industry says it is. In fact, 1 pound of muscle mass doesn't burn 35 or 50 calories a day. A pound of muscle actually only burns about 6 calories per day, and a pound of fat burns roughly 2 calories. Okay? Yes, fat does burn calories. It's not dead tissue. It has energy stored inside it, so it has to be metabolically active. So then technically, if I could increase my metabolism by increasing my muscle mass, then I should also be able to increase metabolism by gaining fat, right? If those cells burn 2 calories a day. Well, think about it. If both muscle cells and fat cells use energy, then an increase in either one of those cells should increase your metabolism. And granted, the process of increasing metabolic rate would be 2/3 slower by strictly increasing fat mass, but it would still happen over time. And it'd probably be a lot more fun because you'd get to eat donuts to get lean. But that's pretty counterintuitive when you want to see your abs or tighten your booty or whatever, right? So to really understand the process of optimizing metabolism, we first need to understand BMR, or basal metabolic rate. So your BMR is the amount of fuel or calories that your body requires and inversely burns daily to maintain homeostasis, or natural balance, at rest. So if you were to lay flat on your back for 24 hours, conscious but not moving, your BMR represents the amount of fuel required to keep you alive and to maintain normal bodily functions. Notice I didn't say to maintain muscle mass, okay, but rather to maintain normal bodily functions. This is important to remember for later. We're going to touch on this again. Now, your basal metabolic rate is calculated on total body weight, height, age, and biological gender. And if you don't know what your BMR is, schedule a body composition analysis with your trainer or accountability coach, because this is really useful stuff, and you should be using that coaching anyways, because it'll give you a much clearer picture of where you are versus where you want to be, and then how to get there. So anyways, to illustrate my point, I went ahead and I calculated BMR, basal metabolic rate, for a 6 foot tall, 200 pound, 40-year-old male, and it works out to roughly 1,950 calories. So that means that this individual will burn roughly 1,950 calories per day, just sustaining life at rest. Now, in a study of 468 men and women, the Journal of Applied Physiology found that the average ratio of skeletal muscle mass to total body weight was roughly 38% in men and 30% in women. So that means that the average 200 pound male carries about 68 pounds of muscle. Each of those 68 pounds burns, again, roughly 6 calories per pound, or 400 calories a day. So if this 200 pound guy's metabolism burns 1,950 calories total, but his muscle mass is only burning 400 of those calories, then what's burning up the other 1,600 calories? Well, believe it or not, your body really doesn't give a hoot if you've got a six-pack or not. What it cares about is maintaining the systems that keep you alive. Your brain, your heart, your lungs, your liver, your kidneys, and other organs, they all eat up roughly 80% of your body's resting metabolic needs. So muscle mass only consumes about 20% of the total calories that you burn every day. So just like we saw with the example of that 200 pound male. So really, this just about makes muscle mass the least important of all tissue in terms of regulating fat loss, and why increasing muscle mass won't significantly boost your metabolism. So again, if we consider a pound of muscle only increases metabolic rate by 6 calories per day, that means you could increase your muscle mass by 10 pounds, and you'd only increase your metabolic rate by about 60 calories a day, or roughly the equivalent of like 3/4 of an apple, okay? Big deal. And 10 pounds of muscle, like 10 pounds of brand new tissue, is a lot. Picture 10 handfuls of ground beef and slap them all over your body. You'd look drastically different. Back when I was, still competitive bodybuilding, it took me 3 years to put on 9 pounds of brand new muscle between my 2 national championships. And all I did was work, train, eat, sleep, and breathe bodybuilding to try to gain muscle mass. But my point is that trying to increase your muscle mass to increase your metabolism is such a slow process that if building muscle is your focus in order to try to get lean, then you're very likely setting yourself up for disappointment and failure, because you're just not going to get the results you're looking for in a time frame that's acceptable enough for most people to stick with it. So the question is how do we optimize metabolism in order to lose fat? And how do we do it quickly enough to not lose interest or get frustrated with the lack of progress? So how do we do that efficiently enough to not lose muscle and still have enough energy in the tank to work out and keep up with work and family and everyday life? We do it by supporting the systems that are designed to keep us alive, and then create an energy deficit or loss to create fat loss, or to elicit fat loss. So the first step, again, is to determine your BMR, your basal metabolic rate, and then set your calories at an intake level suitable to maintain homeostasis, but to create enough of an energy deficit through habitual lifestyle patterns of behavior and exercise. So again, if you haven't had a body comp done in a while, or it's been over a month since you've had an accountability meeting, please get that booked in with your accountability coach right away. And get that done so that we can make adjustments for you. And in my next video, we'll go over how your brain is actually holding you back from optimizing your metabolism and losing fat, and how to fix it. So I hope this video shed a little light on metabolism for you guys. Keep crushing the week, and I will see you soon on the next edition of The Last Rep. Bye.